What's up, everyone? This is Agent Drew. Welcome back to the Right Own podcast. Today we have an amazing guest who actually is a homeowner. This is Nia. She is a teacher, a coach, a homeowner, is about to celebrate her first year anniversary. We're going to be talking to her to tell you about the do's and the don'ts of home ownership and what to do before you actually purchase your home. Nia, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready to talk about this stuff because we need to get this out there.
Okay. Off screen, we talked a little bit about kind of your experience in home ownership
Yeah.
and how it's a little bit rocky.
Yeah, it's very rocky.
I guess let's kind of put it in order for our audience. Kind of tell me about your decision to purchase a home.
Okay.
Where your mindset was when you started and kind of how you went from there.
I pretty much always knew I wanted to purchase a home. I grew up in a home, so I was never really an apartment person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did get my apartment, I was in there literally thinking about, okay, when I get my house, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So it was already kind of like in my head, like where I see myself in 5 years, 3 years, or whatever. I knew I wanted to own a home. So right when I was like getting fed up with my apartment, over it, I reached out to a realtor, like a family friend kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and started the process there with just with my very basics, like what do I want and what do I don't want, and kind of got started from there.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the realtor that you met, you said family friend. Is that
Mhm.
someone referred you to, or you just kind of knew them?
Yes, it's my mom's sorority sister, and
Okay.
she kind of like she watched me grow up, so I, trusted her.
Yeah.
And she's more old fashioned to where I thought that she was more experienced, but I was like, oh, maybe she's not experienced. Maybe she's just a little old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
So because there's a lot of realtors, so I was like, I don't really know a good one versus a bad one. So let me just go with one my mom knows personally.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'll take really good care of her, like she's my own, and all types of things. And then it was just different.
Okay.
It was different from what I expected whenever I heard things like that. So
okay. So you made the decision and you were like, okay, I want to purchase a home. How long did it take you from making that decision to closing?
I think 6 months, maybe.
Okay. That's not too bad.
That's kind of fast. Now that I think about it, step one, I probably should have taken a little bit more time.
Okay.
Because I was a little antsy. Like I said, I'm not an apartment person. So I was like, I'm ready to get into a house. And when I think about it, 6 months is not a lot of time. I would probably have devoted like at least a year, maybe, ish. And then because I also bought a fixer-upper. That was never my plan.
Yeah.
I was thinking move-in ready. It needs to have the very basics of like what I want for my aesthetic to be. And I ended up doing a fixer-upper, and that's a whole lot on a first-time homeowner in and of its own. So yeah, if I would have changed my mindset in the mix of looking, I would have given myself more time so I could like devote what type of fixer-upper do you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have a fixer-upper too.
Okay, so
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What were the kind of? Well, let's go back to shopping before we get into your actual home. So you made the decision. Did you reach out to your realtor, and then did they kind of, pass you to a lender, kind of that way?
We waited till lender to like the very end.
Okay.
And now that you say that, I wish she would have introduced him a little earlier, because it's like I'm working with her for 6 months, and then you bring in a lender with a whole lot of jargon. I'm just kind of like, who is he? Why is he? We didn't have a rapport. So whenever he's telling me the hard truths, and she was like, I guess, protecting me a little bit and babying me a little bit. And I was completely naive. So when we got to the end and he's telling me these things, he's the bad guy. So I'm looking at him like, oh, you're crushing my dream. I don't know what you're talking about. She didn't preface any of that. So I met the lender later on, literally the month of closing, if not maybe a month or two before closing. And I was just like, I didn't know this is how that goes, but okay.
So what was he saying?
He was saying he was a numbers guy. So when he's telling me about the numbers, it's very he didn't sugarcoat anything. So whenever I want a house that was out of my budget, he was like, oh, well, no, that's out of your budget. You'll be paying this, and this much for monthly. Maybe you can get a roommate. And I was like, I'm in mid-20s. I'm not getting a roommate. I'm out of college. That's not happening. And then as time went on and you go through more and more paperwork, I didn't know that everything was estimates until the closing date. So whenever the number is going up as far as like down payment and other costs, I'm just like, oh, nobody told me that. Because whenever you see the paper, you're like, okay, I can work with this. And then you see another paper, and you see another paper, and I was like, it's going up. And he's very straight to the point. He's like, okay, well, that was just an estimate. And you don't know that. Well, I didn't know that until September. So I just felt very blindsided, not by him because he was doing his job, by my realtor. Because as a realtor, you work with lenders. You pick this lender. So you know the processes of things. And like I said, I don't know if she was babying me, trying to protect me or what, but it like just turned into me being blindsided. and just like, oh, I didn't know this how this goes. This doesn't feel good.
Right.
Because I need to know ahead of time what I'm doing. Like you said, I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I lesson plan, I have practice plans, I plan.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm buying a home, I plan. So I just felt like, oh, I went in there very blind and very naive.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you shop around your rate at all or any of your numbers?
Yeah. Probably not. Like I feel kind of dumb telling a realtor this. Was I supposed to?
So yeah. So I guess let me address kind of the crowd, or what you say.
Okay.
Some people are kind of scared to shop their rate because it is another credit pool, and so
Right.
you feel like it's gonna pull you down all the way. That's the one objection I've heard.
Right.
But it all looks the same in the grand scheme of things. Like they see, oh, you shopped your rate. Okay, you're just shopping your rate because you're about to buy a home.
Right.
Once you buy it, I think after like, I don't know the time frame, but it all falls off. So
never knew that.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
So yeah. So shopping your rate is literally getting the estimate that you had, taking it to another lender and saying, "Can you beat that?"
Oh my gosh! And I never knew that was an option.
They'll give you an estimate. You can take it to a third and say, "Can you beat that?"
Okay? It's okay. Now I know. I didn't know. Well, of course I knew. Like he isn't the end all be all. He works with her. That's who she was comfortable with, whatever. But I wasn't like, do you just get on Google and say lenders near me? Like I didn't know. She didn't give me other options to think like, oh, so I'm still trying to go with somebody that I feel like trusted and had my best interest. So of course you want to go with who they recommend. Like, okay, maybe they just, but now that I know, if I had known, absolutely. Because it's just an estimate.
Yeah.
And just to see, it doesn't mean I had to go with other people, but I had no clue. So okay. Yeah.
I learned that it falls off after I closed. So I was afraid that if the score kept dropping, then I would get to a different level of my interest rate.
I never knew that.
I felt like I was going to sabotage myself by shopping, but it was actually the opposite.
Wow.
So I knew I could shop, but I was afraid to because I didn't know like the consequences of shopping.
Right.
But now that I know there really isn't a consequence.
Right. It's not even a consequence. How long have you been in your home?
I hit a year in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a year, 4 months, something like that.
Oh yeah. Did it go by fast?
Yeah, I still haven't had my housewarming party.
Yeah, me neither. And I keep saying, I want to have it by the end of September. We're almost to the second week of September, so no, take your time. My
goal is to host Thanksgiving. My aunt, she asked me, we did a Labor Day get together. She asked me on Labor Day, are you gonna host Thanksgiving? I was like, I'm gonna try.
Why do family members always do that? Mind you, I closed in September. My aunt was like, so Christmas at your house? I was like, no, absolutely not.
If y'all want to sit on boxes, then
like we can sit crisscross applesauce on the ground, but I don't think you want to open presents like that. That's so hilarious. I was the same way.
I told her, I said, I'll let you know October 1st.
Yeah.
Yes or no, or like mid-October. I'll give you at least a month.
Even then, that sounds really soon. October's like next door.
That's true.
Take your time.
I was like, are y'all cool if I just get a table and then like the furniture I have? I was like, honestly, if I get a table, can y'all bring the chairs? And she was like, we'll bring our lawn chairs. You'll be all right. Like, no pressure.
They just want to celebrate with you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I just feel like my house is small. You know how you grow up in everybody else's house?
Yeah.
Big houses.
In comparison, yeah. I get it.
I wanted to stop right here and talk about my partner, Honest Gorilla. Honest Gorilla has the ability to compare different energy plans for you so that you can choose the plan that's best for you, your term, and where your energy comes from. Me personally, I'm on a plan that's 100% solar, so I'm giving back to the earth and also using a renewable resource for my energy. Honest Gorilla has simplified the process so that all you need is the zip code that your property is in, and you're able to go ahead and compare those rates. If you're interested in looking at Honest Gorilla and you wanted to see how much you can save by comparing these rates, you can compare your plan that you have now to other plans that may be available to you in the link in the bio below, or you can go to honestgorilla.com/Agent Drew. That's honestgorilla.com/Agent Drew. Let's get back to the show.
Oh man,
and kind of why you picked the one you have now. So you're shopping. Tell us a little bit about the houses you saw, kind of what you didn't like, what you did like.
I'm very particular. So like I said, I grew up in a house. So the standard for me was space, in-unit, washer, dryer, backyard. At first, it was like, I need to have a 2-story, but then I was like, that's not really. So those were my things. I need to have space because I was in like a 800, 700 square foot apartment. I didn't want to downsize. I needed to have a washer and dryer in unit, and I need to have a fence because I'm a dog person. So given those 3 like mandatory things, I'm starting shopping and I don't even have like 2 out of the things when she's sending me these listings. So as time goes on, I'm getting smart. So when she sends me, because we're hitting like 4 or 5 houses a day, but they're all bus. So as she's sending me things, I'm literally at work like cross-referencing them, like Googling the house. It's like, that doesn't have a fence. There is no wash and dryer hookup. Like, just stop wasting my own time, because I feel like as time went on, like I said, a 2-story house wasn't like a necessity, but those other 3, that's a necessity. I'm not wavering on that. So for my realtor to still be sending me, there's no wash and dryer hookups at all, or the washer dryer hookup is in the garage, I was just like, why would you do that? That's not going to work for me. So I started giving her pushback, and not really pushback, but in like maybe the 3rd month or so, because the first 2 months I'm still like, okay, let me just be patient, let me not be, but no, this is my money. This is literally my first investment. So when we were shopping around, I spent quite a few listings and viewings wasting my time. I walked in, I immediately was like, no. And then I saw some houses. Granted, my budget was my budget. I was not going over, I was not going under, because I'm very big on living beneath my means. So I wanted those same things for that same price. I was like, I'm not doing it. So for that price, I guess she was just keeping it at like, assuming it would suit me, in the sense of, if the house was built in the 30s and 40s, it's under her price range, so that'll suit her. No, it needs to be, it has my 3 things under my budget, as well as like whatever else I was like recommending or wanting at that time. So I was just like, why would you just assume just because it's been underneath my budget that I'll like it? You didn't even look at everything else I wanted. Because a lot of houses that I learned, a lot of houses like before, I want to say like before the 80s or so, they don't even have washer dryer hookups, or the washer and dryer hookup is like in the garage, or it doesn't have a garage, it has like a carport. So I was like, you should know this. This is your profession. Why don't you know it's in like the trend of like, people started getting garages in the 90s or whatever else the case may have been. So I feel like that time period in the first 3 months or so was kind of a waste. But what's funny is the house I live in now, that was the first house I ever toured. And I walked in, I was like, oh, I hate this place. Absolutely not. Okay. So as like month 6 came around, I was like, oh, well, it does have potential, because you start looking at things like foundation. And so my house had good bones, and it had the washer dryer hookup. It just needed to be completely gutted. You know what I mean? So like,
it's just kind of ugly.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I don't know if it used to be a daycare or something, but I had like a green wall, a purple wall, a yellow wall, stains all over the carpet. The fence is torn down, like it's like falling apart. So you could tell where the neighbors pitched in for their fence, but with my house's previous owner, they did nothing to that part. So it had like stuff like that. But the bones of it, like, it was really good in comparison to stuff that I was already looking at. Because like, I saw some move-in ready homes, but I don't know if you know, like whenever the house is shifting, the doors don't close right, or there'll be cracks in the ceiling and stuff like that. It was a whole lot of stuff like that. So what's cheaper, fixing your foundation or fixing the fence? So I was just like, I had to start weeding through things like that as the process went on.
And then like, what can you do?
Yeah, and what can I like realistically get done with just I'm just a girl. So, and as a homeowner, it's a whole lot of DIYs nowadays. So I was like, what can I do just to kind of conserve? I can't do foundation. Exactly. I can't fix a roof. Yeah. I can't do things like that. So that's kind of funny how I like spent the block on the first no, and it's like, okay, maybe.
Okay. But it was 3 months later, so you were able to get a good deal?
Yes, it dropped tremendously. So, but again, I'm the one who circled back to the house and noticed that the ones that we had been looking at dropped. It was on the market. I guess when I first started looking, it had just entered the market. And by the time we hit the 6-month mark, it had dropped like maybe $4,000 or $5,000. So I was like, okay, well, why is it dropping? What's the tea? And the homeowner needed to get rid of the house. I was like, oh, okay, this is perfect. So you're in a vulnerable position. Let me just kind of play up on that. But as the buyer, why isn't my realtor being a shark and being like spinning the block on the previous no's and figuring out why I said no? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just continuing to just send me houses that I will never say yes to. If it doesn't have a washer dryer hookup, I'm not going.
Yeah, I think that's so funny. Like, I'm not to knock your realtor, but like, I do that to my buyers.
Please.
Like, they send me a house. Let's go look at it. I'm like, no.
Please.
No, I'm not going.
No, I don't want to knock her, because at her core, she's a sweet lady, sweet, nice lady. My mama's friend to this day, but I don't know if her being a realtor for first-time homeowners is what needs to be done. Maybe you need to work with somebody who's already bought and sold. They know what they want to do differently. Me, I can't trust you to give me all the information as my go-between between the selling agent and the seller, because you're almost as naive as me. So we can't both be blind. I know that was, so not to knock her, won't ever say her name, but will I recommend her? Absolutely not.
I got you. Yeah, I remember I had buyers. They really wanted to be in DeSoto, so we saw a house in Duncanville. They're like, "We love it, Drew," and I just like pushed back, and made them like say out loud, like, "Okay, we're okay with being in Duncanville. It's like 100% okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the school system later. We can move." Like their kid was 2 at the time.
Yeah.
So they're like, "We can move to DeSoto," but I made them like, we were in the living room. I made them like debate and like we're at a trial or something. We were going back and forth, and I was like, "Okay, I'll write the offer."
I like now that I know how she was almost like a pushover. Like push back with me. Let me, or in what's the word I'm looking for? Educate me. Tell me what it is. What's the difference is going to be? Because like you said, if they're all giddy and like, yeah, I'm happy. You're in Duncanville now. Make sure this is what you want. She was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, no, that's not really educate me and help me through the process. And she didn't do her best at that.
It's equivalent to like you tell me you want a backyard and then you send me a townhome.
And there's like, no yard.
Sure?
It's like literally a little, if at best you might have a gate. So it's like, yeah, you like the house, but once you get in it, don't like come at me because you don't have a yard. Are you sure this is what you want? So no, I feel like I was my part-time own realtor. Like I can't talk to the selling agent or whatever, but she did that part. But everything else, I was like, I felt like I was by myself doing it myself.
Yeah.
It's a real bad.
I got you. I do want to go back to lending. I forgot to ask you a question.
Okay.
With you being a teacher, did you use the teacher kind of loan program?
No.
Did you even know about it?
I did.
Okay. All right. As long as you knew about it.
I did, but once again, my friend, her family has like dealt, like her sister, I got a house. She's been kind of like getting her house together. And a lot of them are saying, look into that. So me just being, this laziness on my part, I asked my realtor about it. She's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I might have Googled it one day and didn't really find anything. So I was like, maybe I don't qualify. And just kind of like went on about my day. I really should have utilized a whole lot of the first-time homeowner resources that were out there. I should have researched way more. Like I said, I was in and out in 6 months. People told me, I didn't listen, so that was on me. I knew it was out there, but like I said, a quick Google search and I not really found anything. I was like, oh, maybe that's not for me. I don't know.
What did you find when you did the research for teachers? I remember it, but it's been a while since I've looked at it.
I found a whole lot of jargon I didn't understand.
Okay.
Because once you start mentioning rates, I'm like, I don't know what that means. And that's where the rift between me and my lender came in, because he was mentioning a whole lot of rates. I'm like, can you put that in the calculator and tell me what that means in a dollar amount? I don't understand what that means. At best, I know what 50% means. I know what 100% means. Everything else other than that, I don't know what that means. And I don't, again, laziness on my part to not do the math myself. Of what 7%, da, da, da. So whenever I found it, it was a whole lot of jargon, and I was reading it. And then I went to my mom, because my mom, they've owned our house since I was a baby. So I'm going to her, she's like, oh, yeah, that was like 30 years ago. I don't remember anything. So I'm like, yes, laziness on my part, wanting somebody to like feed it to me and say, this is what it means. But when I read it, it was like reading Chinese. And I was like, I'm not going to convert it over here into English. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was completely overwhelmed. Didn't try again. That was bad. Okay. Now that I know, that was bad. Okay.
I'll do like a little clip here, but if I'm not mistaken, if you're a teacher, you can get a loan, and then after if it's a 30-year loan, after either 5 or 10 or 15 years, the halfway part, the rest of it falls off, something like that. I don't remember what it is. I remember it being like really good if your plan is to just stay put.
Yes.
But this is a long time ago. This is like when I first got my license.
Right.
I learned what that was. Okay, so I was able to find the program. It's called the Good Neighbor Next Door program. It involves law enforcement officers, teachers, that's pre-K kindergarten or pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, firefighters, and emergency technicians, so essentially paramedics. These people can join the Good Neighbor Next Door program. So the Good Neighbor Next Door program is a specific area of homes, HUD-owned homes, and single-family homes in eligible locations. It's what HUD deems as revitalization areas. So there should be a chart somewhere online that allows you to see what areas are eligible for the program. So the way the program works is that homes are essentially half off. So you'll be signing for 2 loans at your closing table. After 3 years of being in the home that second loan falls off, which makes the home essentially half off. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that if your budget is $200,000, you can shop for $400,000 homes. If your budget is $200,000, your budget is $200,000. Just know that after 3 years, $100,000 of that amount falls off. But does that sound familiar-ish or no?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I knew it was some type of perk. And what's crazy is one of the teachers at my job, she left education to be a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So as it's literally September, I'm asking her more questions. She's like, oh, you should have been there. I was like, oh my God. So as I talk to more realtors, they have more information every single time. And I'm just wishing I would have known that beforehand. Could I still have backed out? Oh, absolutely. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. But like I said, I want information. I want stuff done how I want it done. So as I'm entering the process, I think I already did like my earnest money and everything else. I was like, oh, just see it through. Let's just pray about it. But I forgot what she said. I don't necessarily know if she said it falls off after a certain amount of time, but she was basically telling me like it was way more money out there that I could have utilized for my benefit. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dang. My realtor I literally asked her about it. She's like, I don't know anything about that. Mm-hmm. And I felt dumb. So I was like, oh, am I talking about the wrong thing? Like, am I misspeaking? Okay. So yeah, that's kind of why I just like didn't deal with it anymore. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. Yeah. I feel like your realtor brain is just like, oh, poor baby. You knew nothing. Yeah. Yeah, I knew nothing.
But, I mean, yeah, I say that, but like also like when I bought my house, there were some things I learned.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It was like, dang, like I feel bad. Like I should have known that. Like, learning stuff. Yeah. But I feel like if you're learning every day, you're getting better. So
yeah, I'll definitely know for next time. Mm-hmm. I'll definitely know and take more time in it. Like Jesus, I don't know why I did it like that.
Did you have a time frame of like how long you want to stay in this house?
Yeah, I'm thinking like 3 to 5 years in flip and see where I am there because the first year went by so fast. Mm-hmm. So at first I was like, yeah, 3 years. I was like, okay, wait, maybe 5, and kind of see what happens. It's not my forever home. But wouldn't be opposed to it just navigating the second part of my life as like a super adult in that home. Like it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay. So you found the home, or you sold her back and you found the home. What were some of the things you mentioned as a fixer upper? What were some of the things that you wanted to take care of kind of right away and then like over time?
Right away I had to completely, like I said, gut it. The seller was like a hoarder, so everything was full to the brim. So you couldn't really see like how much space you have in the closet, how much room you really have in this room. It was like exercise equipment, old computers, and Coach purses. It was just very random stuff. So step 1 was like get all that stuff out. Step 2, the carpets had to go. I wasn't like, oh, I need hardwood floors or anything, but the carpet could not be saved. Like I said, I don't know if it was a daycare or what, but imagine like Gideon had 12 little kids running around with cups of juices and cereal. That's literally what it looked like. The walls had to go, like the paint on the walls, because it wasn't even done tastefully. Like maybe the purple and the yellow blended. No, it looked like you were walking into a preschool house. Everything was there but the Mickey Mouse painting. And then there was wallpaper and things like that. So the overall look of it had to be better on the inside for me because it will give me pure anxiety. Like I can't be in here with different color walls and nasty carpet, step 1. And then after that, it was more like the cosmetics, I guess, as far as like getting new toilets and things like that. But as far as, I think that's what we did first was floors and paint. And then I moved in. Everything else was kind of the same. And then I had a whole lot of help that I didn't know I was going to have when I signed. So when I'm breaking down crying, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, it was like my brothers came in, my dad, my mom, they just like randomly helped me. And I was like, oh, I got my whole house like renovated by my brother because he flips houses in Arkansas. So whenever I didn't really tell everybody I'm buying a house. So whenever he found out, he came and did everything. He gave me like new cabinets, new toilets, new floors, everything, new paint. And I was like, oh my God. Because I was stressed about that. Because I was like, at the very minimum, I need carpets, paint, I can move in. He did it all. Because I was looking at, how you kind of tilt your head, like maybe I could work with that door. Because doors are broken and things like that. And he like fixed it. I was like, oh, okay. So I had a whole lot of help that I feel like a lot of people might not have had. Like who's getting their house completely renovated for free? Yeah. Like besides the cosmetics, like I did like a different bathroom vanity and a couple different mirrors. I didn't pay for any of that. I was like, oh my God, that was a blessing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm like the same way with my dad. Like, one of my faucets started like leaking, and he came over and he changed it.
Like what a man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, men are useful. Men are actually useful.
Because I tried to do it myself, and I was like, I just can't get this thing
Can't
on
do
and
it.
off, you know?
Or like, yeah, little things like that where it's like I physically do not have the strength to do it. And as a former athlete, it makes me mad to be able to say that. But some stuff I can't hold it up and drill it and do. But my first thing was to get the aesthetic together, and that might sound a little vain, but think about how you feel when you walk into a room, let alone how you walk in after a long day of dealing with 100 or something kids, and you don't like your house. The carpet didn't smell good with the stains. So it's like you keep the carpet, you try to deal with it, but it stinks and it's ugly. And you just feel like drained. So I literally used to walk into the house and be like sad before it started going through its modifications and things. So aesthetic was first for me, just to even be livable.
I feel that. Yeah, mine smelled like old lady when I first got it.
It's like old lady with a mix of like some cooked food or something that just kind of like sat for forever. That's what mine smelled like. I was like, I can't bear this. Yeah. Like opening a window wasn't gonna help with that. Like so that's a big thing. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah. So like the first like 3 months of living there, I cooked every meal. I was like, we gotta get this smell out. I got the plug-in, candles.
Yes. Yeah. That was me too.
And I don't even have carpet.
You know,
I'm all hardwood, but it still smells like old.
Yeah, it's because once that smell is there, I don't know. I'm sorry, elderly people, but the geriatrics, they have a certain smell to their houses. I don't know how they do it, but it lingers for a very, very, very long time. I don't know.
You get them into like incense and stuff,
or
like,
something.
Yeah, this is for the.
But not even having carpet and still having to smell is crazy. Because that would have drove me crazy. Like, wait, where is this coming from?
Yeah, I found like a couple spots, but. I don't know.
I know you scrubbed your floors like crazy in the beginning. Yeah, me too.
I did. I actually hired a team. I was like, I'm not gonna try. And then after I moved in, I cleaned it again. It helped a little bit, but honestly, cooking is what did it.
Really?
Like cooking like steak, like stuff that smells like steaks, Indian food. Yeah. Like over time, it starts to smell like a home. Yeah. And then now I just have plugins everywhere.
Yeah, me too. I'm a wallflower girl.
And when the seasons change, like if the humidity gets bad or if it rains, it comes back a little bit. And I'm like, nah, get that candle. I do it again.
Nah. It's probably only you that can smell it. I bet if you have guests, they'll never even notice.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm kind of the same way.
They're like, oh my God, your house smells so good. Like my best friend, she comes over. She's like, it always smells good in here. Like,
you're like, I still smell that old lady somewhere. Nah, I get
in here somewhere.
I'm dead.
The ghost.
I'm not the ghost of the old lady. Yeah. Nah, that really how being a homeowner is. Like you pay attention to all the little things that nobody will ever notice. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's great in here. You're like, okay, you didn't notice the baseboard. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly how it is. Like that's why I'm scared to host Thanksgiving.
Me too, because it's like, you know, they love you and they won't pick it apart. Yeah. But you want it to be, if your standard is here, your home is here, you still want to get it there. Even the smallest things. And trust me, nobody's gonna notice. I've hosted twice so far, and everybody's like, goo goo gaga. I don't even have baseboards upstairs. And nobody noticed. I hate some of the lights fixtures. They're like, oh, this is so bright in here. I'm like, that light is ugly. You don't notice that? They don't care. So just host. You'll feel so good, and it'll fill you up just like having everybody ooh and ah. It's such a big accomplishment, you know? Yeah. Just do it.
Like little things. Like I changed the chandelier, but the chandelier before was a circle. Mine's like not, so you can see the little where the paint was around it.
The like little cosmetic things. Yeah.
Like I know I can get up there and do it in 2 seconds. Yeah. But it's like until that's done, I feel like I'm not gonna.
Trust me, you are not tripping. I'm the exact same way. I want everything to be as perfect as possible. Just so I can have that peace of mind, like, whew, I know it looks good. Yeah. They're not just saying it, I know it.
Yeah. Because, like, my parents come over, I'm like, stay right here. Don't move.
Don't turn your head. Don't look over there. Just ignore that corner. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but it's a slow process. Like, my room is very basic. That's the last room I'll do. But every other room is, like, slowly getting changed.
It takes time. That first year goes by so... I haven't hit it yet, but I'm basically out of here. It goes by so fast. So for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm done with this place in 3 years. No, I'm not. I'm trying to max out on my profit because I bought it with equity. So I'm like, how much more can I get with this? So there's nowhere to go but up as far as what money I can get back when I sell mine.
Yeah, that's good. You know, kind of where your equity is, like when you started and where you are now?
No, not recently. Just only from when I first signed.
Okay.
It goes up like that fast?
Yeah. So me personally, homes on my street. I live on a really older street. Like all of my neighbors are older, so some of them are passing away and they're selling their homes for like 50 to sometimes 100,000 more than when I bought mine from. Now, granted, the homes are a little bit different, they're a little bit better, and they have bigger lots.
Oh my god!
But I still feel like my aesthetic is better than theirs because they weren't renovating theirs, and I am.
So how does that make you feel to know that, like, hey, when time comes? Yeah. I think I'm kind of the same way because I didn't notice that when I bought my house in the city. It was like on the list of top 10 most wealthy Black people living in that city.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, just looking around the houses around me, their houses are in tip top shape. Like they put money into it. And it's like, if I even get my house to their point, I know I would have made $100,000 off of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it is currently, but that's my goal to be, like you said, by the time I sell 50 to 100,000, oh, I'm golden. And if it's more than that, God is so good.
Yeah. So do you know about the tax gains? Okay.
Tell me, educate me.
So from 0 to 250,000 if you're single, and then up to 500,000 if you're married. If you stay in your home for 2 years, you don't pay taxes on your profit.
On selling.
Yeah. So stay for at least a minimum 2 years.
Oh, that's a given. And
then after that, do whatever. But if you find yourself at the point where, like, let's say, so I had a mentor. He would buy a home. He would do an addition upstairs and go all the way up to equity of 500,000. Like, he would sell his house short just so he wouldn't have to pay the tax. He just hated taxes like that. But
who doesn't?
Yeah. But that was his, kind of laughing in the face thing.
That's so smart.
But he moves every 2 years with his wife and his 2 kids.
That is so smart. Yeah. And he just pockets that.
Tax free. And just buys rentals with that money. And
so if I get married really quick, no, I'm kidding. That is so smart. I don't know about every 2 years because moving is hard.
It is hard.
And just being single women moving in is just like, oh, that was hard in and of itself. That was part of the breakdown too. But once you're in there, I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
Only 2 years at that too? Yeah. That's doable, especially when you're buying fixer uppers. It'll take you 2 years to kind of get it to where you want anyway. Oh yeah, definitely add that to my list of things to do.
Yes. You do have to file some stuff when you do taxes, but
that's fine.
You're good.
I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do my part this time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So you found the home and you're under contract. What was under contract like? Like your inspection, appraisal, all that good stuff?
Inspection was perfect. Almost quite literally perfect. He mentioned some things about, what did he mention some things about? But the basics as far as foundation, roof, and something else. What is it? Is it the AC? What are like the top things that they look for?
Foundation, roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC.
Everything was good. Okay. They couldn't tell with my air conditioning because it was like extremely hot, and they didn't know if they were just turning it off and the thermostat didn't work or if the AC didn't work. Come to find out, I needed a whole AC unit. That was great. But
what would that run you?
$7,000. $7,000. My AC, like I moved in October. I bought an AC by November. Baby, we're in Texas. It didn't get cold until December for real. So yeah, I had to buy a new AC unit for $7,000. And so, but everything else was really, really good. And that's the reason why I passed on one home that I thought I really, really wanted. The electrical, something was off with the electrical. And I'm like, so I'm gonna get in here and it's gonna start a fire? No, I'm not doing that. So inspection was almost literally perfect. Appraisal, it appraised for more than it was listed for. So I got the equity. And that process was good. As far as the professionals, when it came to the seller, that's where stuff was bad for me. Oops, I'm sorry. That's where it was bad for me because my seller, like I said, was a hoarder. And they just were generally not nice people. So if you're in a vulnerable position where you got to get rid of this house, it became too much for you. I think they were like older. And you need to sell, I would think you have some gratitude or be a little nice as far as like, if we're asking for the house to be cleaned out September 5th and I close on September 20 something, have it cleaned out on the 5th. It wasn't cleaned out on the 5th. It wasn't cleaned out on the 10th. It wasn't cleaned out on the 23rd. So I was just like, I don't comprehend. And then as we're getting to close, my closing day, the seller was supposed to come in at 8 a.m., sign, drop off the keys. I was supposed to come after work at like 2 p.m. I get there at 2 p.m. and everybody decides to tell me then, oh, he didn't want to give the keys until he gets a check in his hand. Okay, I don't know if that's normal, but A, y'all could have told me. And B, I'm making sure everybody here gets paid. So y'all should have made sure I had the keys when I got here. So I sign, give away all my money. And then he comes back like 2 hours later. So I'm sitting there for 2 hours, like shaking, mad, like, why didn't anybody tell me? Because I just felt like he had his way. And that was really frustrating to me because, again, you need to sell the house. It already looks like crap. It's full. Drew, I have 4 or 5 closets. Everything was full, floor to ceiling. Nothing of importance. But my realtor's like, okay, maybe give him time. There might be some important things in there. Da-da-da-da. You're my realtor. Stop trying to protect his best interest as if you're going to sell him a house next. and just worry about me. I'm just a girl. And I'm saying that because this is an older married couple maneuvering together, and it's just me by myself. So I just felt extremely bamboozled. So again, everything leading up to inspection, appraisal, quick, easy. But this last little chunk that could have been 100% preventable was like blowing me, because I can't move in until you get your stuff out. Normally I would think like you take your oven, you take your junk, you take your clothes. It was literally clothes still there. And that part blew me. That's why I'm like, they're just not nice people.
So were they living there while the house was on the market?
No, the house was on the market for 6 months. Again, like I said, the first time I looked at a house ever in life to buy was that house. The last house I looked at was that house. 6 months on the market. And I'm pretty sure it was vacant before that time period as well. But and then in the images, of course, they're taking pictures of things that are mostly empty. But when you get to the point where you're opening closets and stuff, it's just like, it's paper, it's purses, it was a full printer in the box. They were just buying things and just shoving them in closets. And I was just like, I don't. So whenever we get to the point where it's time for me to sign on the dotted line, why isn't my realtor saying, oh, we're not signing? Because she's saying we can hold them up for more concessions and saying we can do all these things, and didn't do any of them. In the sense of like, well, just give them time. They're older. They might be important things. If they have been there for 6 months and living somewhere else, like the house has been there for 6 months and they've been living somewhere else for 6 months, that stuff is not important. So you should have told them to come get it, or else at best. I don't know what you could have said in your best realtor jargon, but you could have said something. Maybe.
I'm just going back to what you said earlier, the poor baby.
Like, I just want to be like, at that moment, I literally just want to be hugged with my mom. Like, I wish my mom could hug me right now, because it was bad. I was bawling my eyes out of anger. And I was like, did I just make a very, very, very bad choice? But it turned out to be good, because like I said, I didn't know ahead of time my brother was going to come help me renovate everything. So that's why I was like, really like, how am I going to do this? But the fact that turned out, that's how I know for a fact it was a blessing. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, none of that felt good at all. Yeah. None of it. Not one single moment. I didn't take a smiling picture, like, just signed today. They're like, okay, you want to take a picture? I said, no, are y'all crazy? And I left. And they're just like, but Nia, I could have, in the most dramatic way, I skirted at that parking lot, like, nah, y'all got me messed up. Skirt. No, they were holding like the little signs and everything. I'm like, oh, y'all are stupid if y'all thought. No.
I'm so sorry. That's why I was happy.
It's not your fault, bro. But like,
I was picky with my signs.
No, everybody be happy. They have their gifts from their realtor. I had nothing but tears. And I finally had the key. And it was so bad to where she, like, I think she called me or texted me, like, let's not waste time changing the locks to the doors because we don't know what he's capable of. I'm like, why did y'all let him think this was okay? Somebody should have told him, like, hey, this is how the process goes. Leave the keys. Leave that girl alone. But he was like calling his selling agent, like, oh, is the homeowner there? I need to pick up some mail. I'm like, you're lying. You don't have mail coming here at the 6 month mark.
You are.
Yeah, and see, like, what's it about? And I was like, oh my God, y'all are crazy. Y'all gonna get this man hurt. Yeah, they let him feel like that though. So
I tell my clients,
yeah.
If anything, I'm yelling at the other agent, come get your lockbox. It's in the
way. get your stuff and move. The process is done. Yeah. You're out of the way. We got it from here. Yeah. Weird.
Okay.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah. Dang. But you're doing it.
Yeah. You know? I went through it and I got through it. But as far as like what other people would need to do different, baby, step one, get a better realtor. And like do more of your own research, you know, because I didn't really try until towards the end when I'm like taking a lead in the viewings and things like that. But I should have taken more time, and I should have figured out little things as far as like the teachers program or whatever, and cross-referencing lenders and all types of things. I just kind of like went with what I was told. Why would you do that? When you're investing whatever, your life savings or whatever, I should have done more on my end.
Are you comfortable saying what you brought to the closing table?
I don't remember. Was it 12?
Okay.
Was it 12? I think like 12 or 13. I don't remember. I should remember. I think it was like 12 or 13.
Okay. This was like down payment?
Yes, closing costs and everything. I think it was like 13,000. Okay. Or was it like 15? It was somewhere between 12 and 15 or $16,000. I really don't remember. Why don't I remember? But every time I went, and I specifically, I remember I thought it was gonna be like 10. So whenever I got there and it was like that 14, 15, that's when I was like, That's crazy to me because, like I said, everything was estimates. So as time went on, I'm talking less to my realtor. I'm asking my lender, what am I have to bring on closing day? What am I have to bring on closing day? The amount kept going up. I think it started at like 7. So I was like, oh, bet this is amazing. It went to 8. It went to 10. On closing day, it was like 15. I'm like, they gotta had it. Imagine if I didn't. But yeah, I think it was like somewhere between like 12 and 15 or 16,000. I can't remember.
Did you look through and kind of see like where it went up?
I did, and he pointed it out to me. And a big part of that was the taxes, because he was estimating what he thought the tax rate was going to be in my city, and it ended up being way higher than he expected. I was like, you couldn't figure that out 2 estimates ago? So that was kind of frustrating. But I think that was like the biggest chunk was the tax rate. Gotcha. And what he projected it to be and what it actually was.
Yeah. For me, my lender wanted me to have a year of insurance premium paid up front and then pay it monthly as well.
I never even.
I was like, why am I paying for this twice? True. I literally called her. I was like, Angela, walk me through this. Walk me through this. I don't understand.
And what did she say?
That's just what the underwriter calls for.
Wow.
I mean,
was that intimidating for you, or like scary?
No, I'll be completely honest. I think I brought like $950 to the closing table.
Okay.
Like $950.
Okay.
Because I just negotiated like everything, but I wanted to come with zero.
Yeah.
I wanted my zero.
I didn't know that was an option. How can you come with zero?
So I use a down payment assistance program.
I had okay. Oh, that's what the teachers would have been, a down payment assistance program?
Possibly. Or by income.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that was a thing. Mm-hmm. So the down payment assistance program will literally pay your down payment for you?
Mm-hmm. They paid all of it. So technically, I have to stay put for 3 years. Because if I move, I have to pay that down payment back. But after 3 years, it falls off. So I'm stuck for 2 more years.
You're not stuck. Wait, so what are the qualifications for the down payment assistance program? And who was that through?
That's just for Texans. So minimum credit score was like 640, and then you can't make more than $97,000 a year.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And that might be 97 couple, but I think it's somewhere like 79, something like that. Somewhere in there.
Dang.
Your interest rate does go up a little bit. When I ran the numbers, it was still worth it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially, who wants to pay out of pocket like thousands of dollars on one day? That doesn't feel good. I felt like I got robbed. Mm-hmm. Dang, you came and I'm like, 15,000.
I didn't tell her this, my lender, but I wanted my zero. I wanted to like show the HUD that like.
I didn't even know that was oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The seller paid for my closing costs. Down payment assistance paid for my down payment. And then I paid for, of course, my inspection and appraisal.
Mm-hmm. But that was like money. 100 something, 200 or something. I think the survey was probably the most expensive part for me personally. I don't even remember what that was, but I think it was like maybe 200, 250 or something.
That seems low, but
yeah, it was. Yeah. I know it was like one of the higher ones. Inspection wasn't that much. Appraisal wasn't that much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
Wait, so is the down payment assistance only for first time?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, and there's one more program that I really like. Specific. It's not even zip code. It's by census tract. They're like real specific. Where you can be a homeowner, but if you buy in that census tract, they'll cover your down payment. So that's what I'm trying to do on the next one. I'm just like anti-down payment. So,
yeah, like who isn't? Yeah. It's like buying a car, you don't pay a down payment. Buying anything else, okay.
Especially if you buy the home equity, like why not put some down?
Yeah, like
I don't get it back if anything happens. Like
I'm cringing in my hoodie right now. Like, bro,
I'm pro reserves and I'm anti-down payment.
What are reserves?
Just like money set aside just in case. Like the fact that you were able to replace your HVAC.
Yeah.
Just because you had it.
Like incidentals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or even your homeowner deductible. Mm-hmm. Like mine is high. So I just want to have that set aside, But if it's in my down payment, I'm like, well, I can't take it out and be like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, you're just kind of like stuck.
Exactly.
On a hope and a prayer.
Yeah. That poor baby.
As the story goes on, you're just like, oh my God. Yeah, lots of prayer, lots of tears.
Yeah.
Lots of nights of eating pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza lasts you a long time, y'all. You eat about 3 days.
Yeah. There's a lot, big one.
Yeah, you get you about 2 slices a day.
That's right.
That's crazy. Okay. The more you know.
So you renovated. Mm-hmm. How you said you replaced your HPC in like October, November. So that's 2 months in.
It was like right before it got cold, but like, bruh, it's, I don't even remember what it was that year, but it's still extremely hot. And I have a 2-story.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even if downstairs is unbearable, hot air rises. So I'm going to bed and it's like 80 plus degrees still.
Mm-hmm.
That's not comfortable. So I know people are going to be like, why'd you replace it? Just wait till it gets cold. You wait till it gets cold. You're not going to be sweating in your sleep. And like I said, working all day and then coming home to that was not going to be comfortable. So yeah, it was a must. And it might have got cold like 3 weeks later, but still I had 3 more weeks of good sleep because I had air now.
Yeah.
Because it was bad. I was sweating.
Yeah. Mine went out this summer, and
they always go out in the summer.
I called the guy and I was like, please, it's older. I will say that. Like, yeah. It'll go out soon, but I was like, please just tell me what it is. Like, don't make it be bad. Because I also had some repairs done by the seller before I closed because it wasn't working at all.
That's good.
And so he was like, it's just your capacitor. Like, the bill was like $200. I was like, yes.
So you didn't have to do like put Freon in it or anything?
It's just an electrical thing that went out.
Why is your life so much easier than mine?
Well, I do have foundation issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and also...
Yes. No, I'm kidding.
So foundation, and then after I moved in, I learned that my sewage pipes that go from the house to the street are clay. And I also have a huge pecan tree in my front yard. So the pecan tree, the roots are bumping up to the clay pipes, and they're kind of moving. And I think that's what's causing like the foundation issues.
That makes sense.
The fact that water is just kind of doing whatever it wants to.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this company was like, they're big balling. The quote for the sewage was $30,000, and then foundation is whatever foundation's gonna be. I'm pretty sure I can get that down.
Yes. You know? Oh my God, are y'all insane?
Yeah, like he literally told me the number when I was like,
"Be for real, be for real." You thought I was for that? Please, no.
Yeah. So I'm living with the moving home. So for me, that's kind of my worst thing. That's why I haven't like, you come to my house, there's nothing on the walls because I'm like, if I hang something and then fix foundation, it's gonna fall off and it may break. Yeah. So that's like the biggest thing that I have to take care of. But it looks great. I
bet.
It's a mid-century modern home, so that's a nice little vibe to it. But it's moving.
Literally, quite literally. Yeah. And mine is too. I looked in my garage and I sent my dad a picture. I was like, "What is that? Like the drywall on the ceiling is like separating." And he was like, "We live in Texas. Homes are gonna ship," which is true. Like I said, I grew up in the same household, so like as time went on, like the houses that I viewed. The house that I grew up in, certain doors were shut kind of weird, or our driveway is a little higher and lower than the other side, like where I grew up. So like my house, some of the doors are like that. Like I said, the drywall in my garage is like that. So according to him, Texas homes are always gonna be moving. I'm like, we're not in California experiencing earthquakes. I'm very confused, but it's always gonna be something. Yeah. As a homeowner, that's one thing I know. It's always gonna be something. Yeah. So if it wasn't an AC unit, it was gonna be something else.
Yeah. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with like, so my dad says like, if it's a straight line, you're good. But if it starts going like the crack goes like that, that's foundation issues.
Okay, so, I need to remember that.
Yeah. For me, I have a couple of horizontal cracks. And then I started doing like, kind of like yoga Pilates. And where I laid it down, I was on the ground and I saw like a dip in my floor. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's good that I can see. I'm not just looking at the ceiling and be like, yeah, there's something wrong. Yeah. I can see it on the floor too. Yeah. So eventually we'll take through. I didn't want to do it in the summer, but when it starts like really raining and like the ground is where it needs to be, then
and you'll know. You know, it's like, oh yeah, it's time. Yeah. Right now, it's like, ignore it. It's fine.
It's not bad. It's not like some houses when you walk and you just kind of fall.
It's like, oh my God, what is that? And I haven't experienced houses like that. I never knew what that was. I'm like, okay, maybe is it just because this is wood and this is carpet? No, it should not be like that. Our houses are literally kind of falling. But
you got a slab home?
What's that mean?
So when you look
at baby, let me help you out.
I'm trying to explain it where you know, like when I say it, but like when you look at your house, is there like concrete at the bottom that goes all the way across, or do you have these like vents? Like you have your window, and then below you have like these vents.
No.
So you might have a slab.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah. Okay. So slab is just like they pour the concrete and the house goes on top.
Yeah, I might. I can't tell because it's like all brick out there. So would I see it underneath the brick?
Yeah. So you'd have brick, concrete, and then your grass.
Probably, yeah. So that would be a slab home, like concrete slab. Yeah, I probably have a concrete slab home.
Personally, I'm scared of pier and beam.
Why?
I don't know. Everyone says like it's good, like it's easy to adjust. If you want to add a bathroom, you can. But it's like they take cinder blocks and like they stack them by 3, and then like the house goes on top of that cinder block. But there's like a bunch of cinder blocks. I just feel like I'm gonna fall through. Like
that they build a house like that on top of that, and that's sustainable.
Yeah. So like Legos
Literally.
Basically, Legos in a row, and then they have beams going this way and beams going that way on the center blocks.
And they build on top of that?
Yeah. And there's like a cross space. So
I don't like that.
You go in and like, that's why they're like, if you want to add a bathroom, you just go in the cross space, do your plumbing, and then pull it up the house. But a slab, once you pour the concrete,
yeah, it's over and done with. Yeah, I think that's what I have because I would have noticed if it was the beam home, right?
Beam.
Yeah, no, I'm terrified of that too. What is under there?
I looked at a couple homes. I was like, I don't know. I've never lived in one. I don't know.
Because you would be able to tell upon walking in.
Oh yeah,
if it's beam. Oh yeah, no, I don't have that.
And most of those homes, you have to walk up anyways to get in the house.
That makes sense. In my head, I'm visualizing it like a trailer, like trailer homes.
Yeah,
it seems like that doesn't seem sturdy.
Yeah,
is that more cost effective or something?
It is.
Sounds a little lazy. I don't know, but hey, I don't like that. No being home. I must have a slab home.
I feel like that would be good, but just not in Texas. We
move too much. That doesn't. No, I could just be walking one day and just fall through. No. That's in my dramatic mind. No, I don't like that. In crawl space, I was like, what's under there?
You do get critters.
No, literally underneath me, and it's not like in the wall. No.
Yeah. So like, rats can go. That's why I think I was like, I don't want anything to come up.
Yeah, and I live in a very wooded area. Ain't no telling what might be back and around there. Keep them out with the concrete.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, cool. Okay, so you did it. You're about to celebrate your 1 year.
My anniversary.
Are you gonna do anything to celebrate?
I'm like you. I'm gonna host a housewarming eventually. I don't know, but aside from the cosmetics, which because I'm kind of there as far as wanting people in and being able to see. I want the temperature to be like nice outside. Yeah. I also have a little patio area in the back that has it's concrete and it's covered already. So I want that to be a little bit more presentable before I host. And also I'm very OCD, clearly. I don't want people walking around with shoes in my house. So I haven't devised a plan of like, does everybody get footies? Or like, how can I get over the fact that there might be messes in my house? That's like I'm almost like quite literally ready to host a housewarming. I just need the details of like, is it going to be a big one? Is it going to be an intimate one? Are we going to be outside and inside? Like, just the little details of my OCDness. But I want to clean up my backyard a little bit because there's some type of like, it's covered and then it's like netting. If the inside of the house wasn't taken care of, you know that netting is just falling apart looking nasty. Like when it whooshes with the wind, it literally looks like there's a ghost running across my backyard. So that's got to go. And I'm about to get my fence fixed. I got a quote, probably getting that done in October-ish. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll get my fence fixed first and then host a thing. Because like October is kind of nice. Like September, when I walk outside today in the city, I'm probably going to perish. So October, I was thinking, okay, maybe the fence will be done and I might have a little bit of decor out there and then it'll be like perfect in my head. People now are like, just host now. Girl, wait a second. Maybe we can make a Halloween theme or something. Yeah. That's what so I'm like you. I'm trying to wait till like the next Thanksgiving or like Halloween or Christmas and then like for real host. Yeah. First.
I ever thought of like a Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna love that. Yeah. But I don't care about football. So I'm like, can we play games or something? They're like, wait, it's not time out yet. Like, no.
Or a basketball game.
Yeah, or something like something eventful. Or I don't know. In my head. This is all in my head. I could blink and it'll be November and I haven't had anything. Yeah. So on paper it's like maybe. I want to. At this point I do want to. In the beginning I was like, absolutely not. Yeah.
I started with the brunch. I did a brunch with my friends.
Cute. And then, friends are always easier than family.
Yeah.
Family is just too like, girl, be quiet. Why'd you say that? But friends, they're just gushing and happy because they're like our age and they get it. So like to them, it's like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like, wow. Yeah. So family, they're just kind of like, well, why'd you do that? Yeah. Why would you say that? Don't hurt my feelings.
My friends are like, I see the potential.
Yeah, they're like giddy. And it's just like aunts and uncles, they're not the same. Yeah. Well, why did you do? Do you need to do?
And also the way my house is set up, like if I'm in the kitchen, I can't see the living room.
Me too.
I can't see what they're doing.
Me too. I have my stairs run right through the middle. So like I can't see the other side of it or anything. So it's like, gotcha. I'm dead. Now we live in the same life, but like differently.
Yeah. I live far too.
Yeah. So it's like when y'all come out there, I gotta hang.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking the Cowboys game, because if it's a 12 o'clock game, you can come early and leave, or you can just watch the game and then go.
And the pressure's off. It's like you don't have to prepare like a big spread for something like that. It's like give them some chips and dip and a shot and they'll be okay.
Throw some on the grill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just keep wings going.
I'm thinking cooler temperatures for sure.
Okay. You did the renovations. What plans do you have you talked about the backyard, but what other plans do you have for your kind of fixer-upper?
I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just strictly outdoor now. I think because I also have popcorn ceilings for I've been in my house like when I got in September. I think from like September to December, I had to fight myself from fighting the urge to scrape off the popcorn ceiling. And I'm glad I waited because my friend recently got her house and they scraped up the ceilings and you have to get it tested for what is it? Asbestos. Mm-hmm. And hers tested positive. Wow. So imagine me going in there, scraping it, and then like passing out afterwards. So I'm like, okay, ignore the popcorn ceilings. But inside, I think I'm pretty much good in just making it cutesy. Like I think I want to add a kitchen island and then fix the outdoor. The temperatures are a little bit better. I have my fence done, and I have a lot of space for my yard. Mm-hmm. But I have like a lot of stumps, like I can say, cut down trees or whatever. Yeah. So just little things like that, and it's like one corner is like full of like 30-something, 40-something bricks. Like, what do I do with bricks? Do I keep them? Do I sell them? Whatever. I don't know what to do with a brick.
My parents built something out of their leftover bricks.
And TikTok will tell me something I can do with those bricks. Mm-hmm. I have bricks and cinder blocks. I'm like, I might be able to
get you a garden
or something. Yeah. So I think that's what I want to do. And then you know how you walk into the front door and it's like a garden kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't do bushes because I don't do birds. I don't do critters. So by the front door, a lot of people have like a bush or something. I don't want that. So I need to figure out what I want there next. And I need a yard man. Like my yard man quit on me. Oh. So my yard looks a mess. The inside, you walk in nice. The outside is looking like the inside used to look. So it's just
okay.
But at least the grass is dead right now. But next we gotta
rain. It's about to go.
The next we gotta because the weeds used to be like okay, that's dramatic. Like 2 feet tall.
Okay.
Like you couldn't walk in it without it like scraping your legs. That's very cringe to me. Wow. So inside, we're in a good space. Mm-hmm. Now we gotta fix the outside of it. People always say you have to give it curb appeal. So I'm like, okay, I gotta fix my curb appeal a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do next?
My bathroom. So I finished the guest bathroom, and then I'm finishing in my bathroom. So I'm replacing the toilet.
Bathroom too, yeah.
And then because of the foundation, I did have a tile fall off, so I need to replace that tile. I might just pull it, yank the whole thing, and do it again.
Maybe.
Because it wasn't applied correctly, and those specific tiles, they're floor tiles, so they're actually too heavy for the wall.
So they're gonna fall anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I faced on my dad when I like kind of pulled it off the wall. He was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
And it's heavy. Like one tile is probably 10 pounds.
Insane, yeah.
And it's thick, so I might just yank it.
You could very well fix one today and another one follow like next week. Yeah. Are you gonna do it yourself?
I don't want to. Tile is hard.
People do it. TikTok makes everything look so simple.
That's true.
Of course, the videos are in a 1 minute span, but they're like, at the end of it, it's like, if you can do it yourself, I highly recommend. Save yourself thousands.
I think like because my parents have renovated homes too. Mm-hmm. Tile is hard when the wall isn't correct. Mm-hmm. So because my home is older, I doubt the wall is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like I may just splurge on that one thing.
Yes, that's
do it
good.
Correctly, and then I'll do everything. Because I did everything else. I put the way it's made. I had to do a curved shower curtain.
Oh,
so I had
okay.
to
I have
install
those
it to the ceiling.
Oh, you did? By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Just like this is IKEA kit.
Okay.
It's all plastic, so I was like, I think being wet would be okay. And you just install it to the ceiling, and then you put the clips like in it.
Yeah. One of my biggest things with like doing my DIYs was getting anchors into the wall because I was always making the hole too big, and then when I'm hanging up, I didn't really like have the strength to get one side up and the other side up. That was like my biggest humbling thing. Mounting things, getting things onto the wall, onto the ceiling. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you did that. Because like your arms like this for a very long time. No. Frustrated, sweating, crying. Can't do it.
And I redid my vanity.
By yourself?
Yeah. I bought just a little IKEA vanity. Because the one they had was like the pedestal one. There's no countertop space. So you try to brush your teeth and you got to hold everything.
I'm dead. Yeah.
So that was like the first thing I bought. Like as soon as I bought the house, I was like, all right.
I don't blame you. As a homeowner, did you just have things in your head like, oh, I'm doing this first?
Yeah.
What was you did that and what else?
Honestly, shower curtains were number one. So like when I first moved in, I was Googling everything. I could not find a shower curtain that would fit. Mm-hmm. So I just would take the shower curtain and like put it half in the tub, half out. shower, and then when it was done, like take the water and just.
I'm dead.
And then I finally found. I think my dad sent it to me. He was like, "What about this at IKEA? It goes on the ceiling. You can curve."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah." I like drove all the way to Frisco and like picked that up.
I'm dead. I went to Frisco for that. That was the only one in stock.
I think Grandparents out of stock. And then I think I got like, I don't know, some flowers or something. I was like, we'll make it worthwhile or something. I did that. What else? It was kind of just dirty, I guess you could say. So like I had to rake leaves, but I bought my house in the summer, so like, those leaves been there for a while. I watered the grass. It wasn't really taken care of. What else? That was it. It was a decent house, to be honest with you. The locks, my dad did that the first day I moved in. Yeah, it was good. It was just dirty. Like my it came with the fridge and the freezer. It wouldn't open because it was so dirty. So
I don't understand people don't take care of their stuff. Was yours vacant before you?
It was a tenant.
Oh, so they were renting it out.
Yeah, they had moved out. The tenants moved out, but you
I
know,
don't understand people. I don't know, man. And maybe I just live in a la la land because a lot of people aren't able to live in the same house growing up. But like, I've lived in the same house before I got my apartment, before I got my house. Our stuff was never like that. We don't have closets full to the brim. We don't have things that we eyesores that we ignore because it's dirty. I don't understand that. And a lot of the houses I was looking at, I was like, oh, even our floors are dirty. What?
Yeah.
No judgment. You never know what people are going through, but I was just like, that's wild. And mine was so bad because like the smell and everything else. My mom was getting frustrated with me when I was moving in because I was focusing on things that she deemed unimportant. So I have a whole closet room because whenever my brother did everything, that was an extra bedroom that I deemed like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this because everything else is weird because I don't have baseboards here, I don't have baseboards there. So I literally spent like a month or two getting my classroom together. My mom thought that was just so vain and like, you need to focus on it. I was like, I'm gonna focus on what gives me peace. So if my purse is looking nice, makes me feel like I can sleep better at night, I'm gonna focus on that. I don't think I bought my bed frame yet. Or I was sleeping in my old apartment furniture in my second bedroom. So she was like, "You're worried about the wrong thing." I was like, "I don't care."
Yeah, same.
Because if I'm asleep in my apartment bedroom furniture, that's fine, and I'm gonna get dressed in my closet room and go to work, like everything is fine, and everything else looks stupid. So I was like hyper fixated on things that I knew would bring me peace, like organization, things like that. She wanted me to focus on like no, I'm not focusing on what you want me to focus on.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah. I slept in the guest room too.
Yeah,
like 3 months or so.
Because you want your main bedroom to be like the showstopper. So I'm gonna take my time with that.
Oh yeah,
I'll sleep in the guest room for now.
Yeah. But for me, it was kind of like a dumb kind of situation. I was building my bed, and I thought I misplaced my hardware for that bed. It was attached to it. I just didn't know I taped it on there. So
I'm dead.
I was trying to order it, trying to work with IKEA to be like, I just need the hardware. I lost the hardware. Like, can you send it to me?
So when did you actually find it?
I think I like went in there to like just make it look a little better, and I think I moved the headboard, and it was on the back side of the headboard. I was like, that's crazy.
Palming your face, like, wow.
Yeah, it was one of those.
That's something I would do.
Yeah, but once I was done, I started sleeping in there, and it was It's a big room too, like probably twice the size of the guest room. So
yeah, exactly. The way the door opens in the guest room, I had to like kind of open the door and then slide past it and then close the door. But my main bedroom is crazy. I could fit like my bed, a bench, all type of stuff. I haven't put all of it together, but yeah, I got some ideas for that too.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so from kind of everything that you've experienced, what are like, you talked about, making sure your realtor is great, but what are some other like advice tips that you give for a first-time home buyer?
Do your research. Not even, because I kind of did my research as far as like what I deemed important, like zip code, commute from work. I did the research on the house. I didn't do research on the process and think about first-time homeowner down payment assistance, programs for healthcare workers or first responders or teachers. I didn't look into any of that. And instead of having my eye on one realtor, maybe ask multiple realtors. I know it's not really, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like it's kind of unethical because it's like, what if I ask 3 different realtors and I pick this one? I don't want you to feel like you wasted your time helping me because y'all's time is valuable too. But I wish I would have kind of like played around a little bit and looked at my options a little bit as far as realtors, because every person I talked to told me more than her. So it's like, dang, I kind of wish I went with you. Or like the teacher at my school, I kind of wish I talked to you more. So that part, as far as shopping around for realtors and doing my research on the perks of buying a home, I would do that first and foremost, instead of on the back end, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Because as far as like what you want in a house and the process of getting into the house is going to be pretty much the same. Like you're going to look at the houses, talk to lenders, whatever else. But that first starting off, I should have done more research and figured out, how do I buy a house? Because I posted a TikTok and a girl was like, what is your process on buying a home? And I just kind of kept it very simple as finding a really good realtor, because they'll tell you everything else. You don't have to figure that part out on your own. So a really good realtor, you won't know until you talk to multiple. So talk to multiple realtors. See what they tell you. Catch the vibe a little bit to start off with. And then after that, let your no's be a no. Don't necessarily waver on big things that you know you're going to care about. If it's about a backyard that you don't really care about, you can waver on that. Or if it's a school district, you can waver on that, you know. But let your no's be your no, as far as don't let people make you feel like you're crazy when you want a washer and dryer in unit. Why is that so hard to ask for whenever there's, especially in the state that we live in, there's houses everywhere. So just find the one that fits you. So as time went on, I kind of felt a little insecure about using my voice. Like, am I doing too much? Because I don't really know if this is the standard. But let your no's be a no and trust your gut a lot. Because I was fighting a feeling whenever I was told information like, oh, that doesn't sound right, but I'm going to do it anyway. Dumb. Why would you do that? So I could write a book on the advice for first time homeowners, but and also take my time. Like I said, I was done in 6 months. Looked, shopped, signed, 6 months. That goes by really, really fast, especially when you're working in between and stuff. So
were you up against a moving date?
No,
you were month to month?
I signed a 12-month before. So I want to say I started my process around Mother's Day. Is that May? Yeah, May. So I started the process in May of 2023. May of 2023. I think my lease was up in May of 24. Yeah, that had to be it. So I re-signed. It was like a year lease. And I was like, okay, so when the time comes, if I buy a house before May of 24, I'll just break my lease, because I was like $1,000. So that was dumb. Not breaking the lease, but like I started in May, done in September. I still had until May before a new lease. So I'm just weird about things like that. It's like if I want to have a hosting for my housewarming in October, I'm gonna make sure I have it in October. But this house buying process made me feel like, just take my time. I don't really want a housewarming right now. Yeah. But during that time, I started in May. My lease wasn't up till May of next year. I signed in September, and basketball season started in October. And I randomly got in my head, like, I don't want to be moving and figuring stuff out in the middle of basketball season. And I just stuck with that.
You got 10 players that can help you move.
I literally got it all done and moved in the day of our first scrimmage. And I was like, why did I even put that unnecessary pressure on myself when I still had until next May? But that was just my weird thing. So nobody put that pressure on me but myself.
Yeah.
I had a whole year.
I went semi-homeless. I did an Airbnb for 30 days, and then I stayed with my parents for 10 days before all under contract.
Yeah. So I know that was even hard in and of itself, though.
It was honestly harder for the dog than for me.
I'm dead.
She was like, why do we keep moving, Mom? Like, and she was a puppy too. So it was just
I'm dead. It's harder for the dog. Is crazy.
Yeah.
I should have taken a little bit more time, but But I did say I'm never moving again without a man. I need a man. I need you or something. Help me. And that's my partner. I'm not buying another house unless a man do it with me. We're gonna be married. We're gonna figure it out together. Because by yourself, it is really, really hard. Doable, clearly, but extremely hard. So next time, that's what I'm gonna do differently too.
Did you hire movers?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And they were really, really good. Who did you use?
My dad.
Oh, really? You did it all yourself?
We got a U-Haul.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Oh, I will say, everything was in storage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was out in my apartment.
Yeah.
So we were just emptying a storage unit right into a truck. It wasn't hard. It just got a little hot, but
I think we used all my sons, because I lived in the third story of my apartment. We had no elevator. So I was like, when I moved into that apartment, I had friends and stuff help me, and I was like, never again. and I hired the movie. I had couches. I had 2 big old TVs. I had real big girl furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff that I fit in my apartment, people are like, how does this fit in here and look so good? Because it was really for a house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a $5,000 couch. You think that could just get moved by little old me? Oh no, I was not doing that. I had a full queen size bed, all types of stuff. I had to use movers for my mental health.
Yeah, I did. I left my mattress in my apartment.
Yeah. See, even things like that, it's just like, hey, bro, I'm just gonna have to leave this here. It's too much.
Well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it worked out. But okay, cool. Man, that's crazy. Okay, so
the way you're fighting to say poor baby again, I know it's okay. It's okay.
No, okay. So the reason I'm really starting this podcast, do you know about the company I'm trying to build? So
tell me about it.
I'm trying to build a software, like a platform for first-time home buyers.
Okay.
So they go in, answer a bunch of questions about them personally and their finances, and we'll kind of pair them with the best support in terms of down payment assistance programs. We'll ask you, Nia, are you a teacher? And you'll click yes, and we'll automatically send you to those programs.
That's so helpful.
Well, I want to take like your personality and pair you to a realtor that's good with your personality. The realtors are vetted; they know how to work with first-time home buyers. All your communications with everybody, so your title company, inspection, appraisal, that's all kind of centralized. So this is like one for research because I'm interviewing like a lot of professionals, homeowners, things like that.
Yeah.
And then it's also like understanding, okay, what am I actually going to put in the product while I'm building it?
Yeah.
So
and what do people need whenever they're going into it? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So kind of like what you said about like don't send me houses that I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, I'm putting that in there. I'm taking notes and things like that.
Yeah.
So
and it helps that you bought a house as well. Like recently, my realtor probably bought her house when I was a teenager. That doesn't really help much because times have changed. So you could probably add a lot to that too. Just in your experience. That's good.
Yeah. So this is like the kind of building
foundation.
Process. Yeah, absolutely. Laying the foundation for the company and like just helping people. Like someone's gonna watch this video.
Help us all.
Yeah, you may get a DM or something that's like, oh my god, I watched your video and like
I hope so. I'm like, girl, I have so much more to tell you. Just let me know. Yeah, I sure will.
Yeah. If you want to, we could do a part 2. And
we can. I'm with it because, like I said, I posted a TikTok. I took it down because like the quality was weird. But whenever I do post little things about my house, people do have questions for me, and I'm not stupid, but I'm not that knowledgeable on different ways. Like how I'm asking, like, is that how I should have done it? And you're telling me, oh no. So I'm just telling them my experience. It's like, oh yeah, girl, this is ghetto. Yeah. But you could like, yeah. Yeah.
But 100%, like you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Until you like accidentally run into it.
Or, you like, you literally have to go through it. Buying a home isn't YouTube Googleable. Other stuff you could Google and you're in there. Buying a home is like, since there's very many different avenues, that Google search gave me anxiety because I was like, I don't know what to look for. Yeah. So I literally did not know until I went through it, and then I was like, oh, this is not how that's supposed to go. This can't be how it goes for the millions of homeowners every single day. So that's how I knew like, oh, there has to be a different way.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Traditional question on the show.
Okay.
When shit hits the fan, what does that inner monologue sound like to you? Especially in the process.
I'm dramatic. Is it real shit hitting the fan or is it just like...
I mean, how did you feel like, or what were you telling yourself while you were shopping and under contract and like moving in and at closing table? Like, what were you telling yourself to
I laugh because when it really goes through my mind, it's a whole lot of words I can't even say in church. But to the core of it, I had to keep telling myself, control what you can control. As time went on and things got hectic, like even when I closed and my AC went out, I was like, control what you can control. If I can pay for it, I can pay for it. If I can't, I can't. And I literally had to relinquish the power of I can't control everything. Like I said, I don't want to put that pressure on myself to have a housewarming before basketball season again. I have to control what I can control. If that doesn't make me feel comfortable, if that's not doable, just relax. And relinquishing, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher. I'm in control of a lot of things a lot of the time. So whenever it comes to my personal life, that helped me out with the process because as a homeowner, there's lots of you can't control. You can't control your financial issues. I can't control the fact that man didn't give the keys on closing day. I can't control it. So it's like, let's take a woosah, do some retail therapy, and figure out what's going to be my next step. And that's why I kind of like hyper fixated on my closet room. I can control exactly how I want this to look. Because that process was so traumatic. Let me focus on something that I can't control. And that kind of That's on a small scale, but really in real life as well. I didn't even tell you about how whenever I got into my house, I immediately started having car troubles. Like I had a Kia at that time. My car got broken into. They broke the steering wheel. Like everything that cost a whole lot of money, AC, cars, houses, it was all happening at one time. So I literally had to, I can't control any of this. There's nothing I could do about it. So I'm in a house, but I'm driving somebody else's car, or I'm borrowing this friend's car because everybody's happen to have extra cars at that time. God is so good. So I couldn't control any of it. So I just had to be like, hey, I'm here. Just do what I got to do. What I can control is I get up every day for work and I go to work and I just do that. Focus on that for the time being. And it worked out. Because when shit's going to hit the fan. When you buy a house, shit is quite literally going to be like rocky. So enjoy the peaks. Like, dang, this feels really good. Because them valleys are going to suck. And you got to know that like when the peak comes back up, it's going to feel good again. You know? That's not like corny, but that's really how I like self-talk myself through it all.
Gotcha.
What about you? When shit hits the fan, step one.
That's that. I think when I was under contract, it's kind of like you. My numbers were going all over the place, and I don't remember exactly what it sounded like, but it was similar. It was like, okay, well, if you can't change it, honestly, it was probably really close to that verse in the Bible. It's like, God give me the strength to change what I can. Yeah, the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
So it probably was just like, all right, wisdom to know the difference. Just to shorten it, like, all right, can I change this? Like, can I back out and buy another house? I really don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can I stick it through? And it worked out because even like my house was a fixer upper. When I hired the team to clean it and I walked in myself, it looked so much better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So like, when you have those moments of like it always gets better, you kind of just like, all right,
it has to get better. You know? Or if you get into that whole woe is me, it's like maybe it's gonna get worse and darker and darker. So yeah, I like that. So ours is kind of the same then. Yeah. Just know that like it's not gonna last forever. Gotta get through it, moving right along. Yeah.
That's a good. I've never. I don't know. It's a question I want the show to be kind of known for, but I haven't been asked that before, to be honest.
I'm glad I was surprised because everybody goes through things you never know people are going through. So like, and I know as a first time owner, stuff went wrong for you at some point. You're just like, oh my God, are you a crier?
Sometimes.
I'm a frustrated crier, so imagine the tears during that time period. I cut off all my hair. I went from like down my back to a bob. Like I was going through it. So yeah, it got a little dark for a second.
Yeah. I had honestly, what really got me through it too is having a dog, like having a companion.
And that's why my fence fixed. I need a puppy. I haven't had a dog in years. Yeah. So emotional support dog.
Oh yeah,
literally.
And she's a crackhead, to be honest. Like,
I'm dead.
She's a goober. She's a Doberman. So she's like really loyal, but she plays kind of rough.
Yeah, active.
Yeah.
Full bred Doberman?
No, she's mixed with a Lab and Border Collie.
Oh, an energy ball. Yeah. A ball of energy. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So it's cool. It worked out because my backyard is like a long strip.
Yeah.
So she just has like a runway.
The zoomies. The zoomies up and down the track. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And it's all a blessing. Like it was tough, but a lot of people can't do what we have done when we did it. That's hard. We are young. Like as I get older, I realize how young I am, if that makes sense. So it's all a blessing. And if it wasn't meant to happen, God would have blocked the fact that we didn't close that day. Absolutely. Or it never happened to begin with. So that's how I just keep looking at it over time.
Absolutely. I put in probably 4 offers.
Yeah, me too.
Before I got my
Me
house.
Too. And one of them I went over my budget. Whew, thank God that didn't happen. Because imagine going over your budget and then getting the house, like, not way under, but, like, under my budget and signing with equity. I could have gotten the house, but over my budget, no equity.
Yeah.
So it all works out for sure.
Same. We probably bid it on the same. No.
Yeah.
Were we? We weren't. No, I'd already closed one time.
Okay. Yeah, because you go to May, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
May 31st.
Crazy. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah, that's true.
Good and bad.
Yeah, I saw you like posted you bought a home. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Like me too. And honestly, when I posted it, more people tell me, "Girl, me too." I didn't know. As a realtor, do you see more men or women closing first time owner or single?
Statistically, women.
And when I posted that, it was a lot of women. I'm like, wow, we're amazing. Because I knew a few, But a lot of people are like, congratulations, I just did too. I'm just like, wow. I like being a part of that. That made me feel good because like you kind of feel isolated in the moment. But it's like, okay, other people can do it. I can do it too.
Yeah.
Or other people have done it. We all did it too. You know. So that's cool.
Like 2 of my neighbors are single women.
Yeah,
So
like
really cool.
I like that. I like that. I love that for us actually.
Yeah. I noticed that women buy houses and men buy cars. So men will get like the Corvette that will over time like appreciate in value, or they'll get like attention from the car and they use that to like build their business, and then that builds equity. But then women buy houses that build equity. So I mean, the end goal is still the same of like a nest egg, things like that, but it's just a little bit different.
And now that you think about it, I do kind of see that. Because like I said, I bought my house and I was going to drive my Kia. That's $20-something thousand.
Yeah.
But
my car's 10 years old.
Yeah, you know, my Kia was on year 8. And I was like, I need to get to year 10. Yeah. Buy my house, I'm going to get to year 10. Did not make it, but that's kind of funny. But everybody has their own process. So
I feel like guys too may want to buy with their wife.
Yeah, I can see that. Since they are the ones to like propose and like do all that, they kind of have that process. And I can see a lot more men wanting to just kind of be. A lot of women, how can I say this? The women in my life that I know, we are overachievers and do a whole lot. Like I know lawyers, realtors, wives, single mothers, all type of things. Like we just be wanting to do stuff. Guys get kind of complacent. Like I'm cool with my high rise and my car and my puppy and I'm straight. Women be like, oh, I want more. I want to do this. I want to get the third man. I have a friend, she's working on her second master's. Like we just be wanting to do more, and guys just be chilling, and we just like balls of anxiety doing all these type of different things. But
I feel like too, like we like to host.
Yeah,
and you can't really host in a high rise. I mean, you can, but
it's not.
You can't host a Thanksgiving with a table.
It's not the same.
Apartment, you know.
Like I have to beep you up to the apartment to get you. Like it's not the same.
Yeah, versus just doors open.
Yeah, like I see you on my Ring doorbell and you're here.
Yeah,
different processes. I don't. Do you have any male clients?
They're either married or they're doing kind of what you did. They buy fixer uppers, and that's what they do. Or that I'm just doing their rentals.
Okay.
I'm buying and selling their rentals for them.
Yeah, because it's a lot of men that are doing it.
But most are married.
Yeah, I get it.
Most are like, we got a baby on the way. We need one more bedroom, so you're moving, kind of like that.
Not opposed.
Yeah.
Not opposed.
Yeah, but I think too, like, and I made a video about this. Condos are really cool for like the younger crowd, or I'd say like when you don't have kids, so you don't need a whole bunch of bedrooms. You can get a 1 or 2 bedroom condo. But the warranty versus non-warranty rule that they have set in place in 2008, it's still there, and I feel like that's hindering our generation from buying condos. So we don't buy condos.
Yeah,
we either wait and we buy homes with our families, or we buy a home. We have 3 bedrooms, but there's just one person in the house.
Yeah,
and it's just
literally me. Yeah. I have 3 bedrooms. It's just me. No dog, no nothing.
Yeah, that is scary though. No dog.
No dog, no nothing.
I would be so scared.
I got a gun. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I got a gun and an alarm system.
Dog.
Yeah, that's my dog. Roof, lock and loaded. We're good.
Yeah.
I was so happy when my dad bought me that.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet, but it's this cat around the corner that. No, I'm kidding. I hate cats though.
I'm allergic, so I feel
like they're just so disgusting.
Yeah. Dad, if you're watching this, I thought he was gonna buy me a gun for a housewarming gift.
He should have,
but he didn't.
What are you waiting on? We're in Texas. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just tuck it in a little drawer.
Well, he's like, you have a Doberman, so I mean, you're good.
True. I suggest one or the other. Me, I want both. I want a German Shepherd, and I'm gonna have my gun. But
okay, yeah.
So like that's like extra security too.
Yeah.
On the perimeter, and then we got the interior. It's a girl dog. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like girl dogs' protectiveness, snuffness of it.
She's also not spayed, so she's like real.
Oh, she's like
she don't play.
Feral. Yeah. She plays no games.
Yeah, and our mailbox is on the house, so I know every day when we get that mail, she's
going
crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
that's what dogs are for, and they're literally best friends. Like you said, like when you were going through it, we had a Rottweiler growing up, and that was my girl, my Coco. That was my girl.
Yeah. I would like on a stressful day, I go give her a hug, and she'd be like, "I know, Mom."
I know. I'm here for you.
I don't know what's going on, but
not a clue. I feel like dogs know though. They don't know, but they know.
Yeah, because we were in the Airbnb, but I didn't want to take those boxes all the way to storage, which is in Waxahachie, and our Airbnb is in my parents used to live there. That's where it was. So I just got the storage near them. and the Airbnb was in Arlington. So I just put the boxes in the living room. And I felt like she was like, "Oh, I know we're not staying here long because this is there. And like, it don't smell like us. Like, you know, it's just,
it's not a candle lit yet. This isn't for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, dogs be knowing.
Mm-hmm. It's all girly and everything.
And you're like, my house is like plain, so
No, I'm more like earthy, like all that stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that. Yeah, I'm like a perfect mix between both. So whenever you say you love, like, what'd you say? Did you say mid-century? What's some? Yeah, you said mid-century modern. I'm like a mix between that. A little earthy because I love like woods, but also just modern, not even mid-century, just pure modern, like beiges and neutrals and a little bit of like a random oak stool here. I like that. And then like my apartment furniture is almost extremely boho, so all of my vibes are like all together. So I was like one of those tapestry girls. Like I had a tapestry on my wall growing up. I did the whole choker dream catcher vibe. So I'm like, that's all my vibe.
Gotcha. Yeah. I used to be a plant.
Yeah. Everywhere. Are you a plant mom?
Well, people would just give them to me. Oh, okay. They just assume I am. So
what?
I think I'm only.
Is that a compliment or?
Yeah, I keep them alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a tree that was given to me. It's about to die, and now it's like growing.
Okay.
So I guess when I told people about that, they were like, "Yeah, here."
Yeah. You're the reviver.
Yeah.
I'm dead. So they just give them to me.
And then when I had a job, when I quit my job, the person I worked with, he gave me he cut off his ivy. He gave it to me. I planted that. That's growing. So just like over time, I just gifted plants. So
you're an honorary plant mom.
Yeah, exactly. The foster
mom. You revive them. They're like, oh,
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been super fun talking with you. I enjoyed like you said, poor baby, but you got through it.
I'll know next time.
No. Next time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you know what kind of home you want to buy next?
I don't, because I feel like that chapter in my life, I hope I'm in like mommy mode, like I said, married mode. So I'm sure my vibe will change. But here we are again. It's like I went from 700 square feet to like 1,800 square feet. We can't go down. We can stay the same, like 18, 19. But no, I don't know yet. What about you?
I want to move closer to Dallas.
Okay.
I've thought about buying a lot and building a duplex.
Okay.
Just living in one side.
I used to be obsessed with duplexes.
Yeah.
Like just or just townhomes in general. As far as like my space isn't lateral, it's more vertical. I used to be obsessed with that vibe. Like, oh, we're on this floor and on this floor and the rooftop. So I can see that. Yeah. And that doesn't go out of style either. Everybody's always going with that. No. Would that be like you're a rent and flip too? Well, live in and flip if you do that?
I'd probably stay put there for a while.
Yeah.
Probably same thing till marriage, kids.
Yeah.
Because the duplexes would allow me to still have a backyard for the dog.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the original goal was actually a fourplex. But I ended up purchasing a home, so I kind of want to just go back and kind of.
I can see that.
Check that box, I guess you could say.
Yes.
But I want to build it so it's new.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Nothing's broken.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, so now that we've fixed it up, we're probably both gonna be in the same process of like, let's build our own, have the own touch of it, and settle down. Because the time in our first homes are gonna go by really, really fast. Yeah. So I feel like the next home, I'm gonna stay put, catch a vibe, chill out for a little bit. Maybe be my forever home. Yeah. Hopefully. My dream home is there's a building in downtown called the Blue Seal. It's like a high rise. That's like the dream. But really,
so I'll probably stay in the duplex until I'm able to get the high rise.
Really,
I've always wanted to live in a high rise.
Make it happen. Yeah. My mama always says, write the vision and make it plain. Oh, yeah. Whenever I got my house, that was all part of my vision. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a coach. Everything worked out perfectly. I was teaching and coaching sports that I love, basketball and track. And then I got the house, and then write the vision, make it plain. Yeah, make it happen.
The year I bought my house, if you look at my vision board, I did everything on the vision board except for like one thing.
That's so amazing. Yeah. How'd that make you feel?
Really good.
Yeah, like.
So I was like, I make one every year.
Doesn't that make you feel like life is great? Yeah. Like, if you can literally set your sights on things and get them done, it makes life so much more enjoyable. Yeah. And like I said, it makes those lows like, not that. Because I have the power to get myself out of the low, you know? So, yeah, I like that. So, vision board, do you do them at the end of every year or the beginning of every year?
Yeah, I don't go out for New Year's Eve, so I usually do it New Year's Eve.
Okay, that's a good tradition. I like that.
Yeah, just staying. My dog's not afraid of fireworks, so we just chill. And
catch a vibe. Okay, high rise in the next few years.
Yeah. Another dog, maybe.
Another dog. More plants.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
That's true. There'll be a lot of windows at the high rise, so you know, I gotta get the plants.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. We're working our audience find you? You want them
You can find me on Instagram. A lot of people think my last name is Long. I'm not gonna say any names, but at Nia Long. My real name is Nia, but my last name's not Long. I'm on Instagram at Nia Long. I'm on TikTok at Nia Long. I'm pretty social on those two. Facebook, baby, you're not gonna find me. But if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram. I promise I'm nice. I'll respond.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was. Bye, y'all.